Okay, well then if nobody has a thought, live well and prosper, as I thought. Live long and prosper.
That counts.
Okay, cool. Matt, do you want to start us, and then we can get going if everybody's ready, or do you want to wait a little longer?
I think we're ready, yep, and I've hit the start button.
Oh,
So
we're already going.
We're good to go, yeah.
How long have we been going?
Like 2 seconds.
Okay. Let's see. I'm opening up our discussion today. Okay, so let's see. All right, so the first question is, with regards to the key elements of the business model, what should CloudFlare keep/start doing with respect to the CVP, the GTM, the TMO, and the CFF?
I don't understand why they don't just write these all out.
Maybe.
Why the need for all the acronyms?
Well, let's just take a minute and define them so we're all sure that we're talking about the same thing. So CVP is the customer value proposition, right?
Yes.
And GTM is go-to-market?
That was my impression.
Okay.
What was CVP?
Customer
value proposition.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever heard of that before?
Value profit.
I only just heard about that in my 383 class last semester.
Yeah.
Thanks for.
And the TOM, what does that one stand for again?
That one I wasn't sure.
There's so many jargons and words we use nowadays.
Is it
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is either.
I'm Googling it.
target
TOM.
operating model? I don't know. That's what I Googled.
Time of month, task order manager, target operating model, terrestrial organic matter. Yeah, that's fun.
I feel like that could go any way.
Yeah, I think it's a target order. Target
Manager?
No. I don't know.
Should we have read this in the case? Because I read it and I did everything I thought I was supposed to, but I still have no idea when I look at this.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not alone. And the last one is CFF.
How about
Conflict. CloudFlare.
Cash flow? Cash flow something? Cash flow.
cash flow from financing?
Oh.
Oh, that could be it.
Okay, cool. So let's start with the first one. Describe the key elements of the CVP, or Customer Value Proposition. So currently, the Customer Value Proposition, that's the what our customers are, what we're giving to our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, we're giving our customers security with their web pages and things like that.
Yep.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything else? What other value? I think it's just security.
Speed. Speed as well.
Speed.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Not sure how many other ways you could interpret that one.
Yes. Speed and security are the two big CVPs for CloudFlare.
So what should we keep or start doing with our customer value, our CVP?
Well, I think keep doing is pushing the security. I think the freemium model is very good. What they have going as far as everybody gets a basic thing, but you have to pay for extra around the clock support or other things like that.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like they have a great opportunity to scale this to global and be very, very profitable. Anyone else want to share anything on what we should keep or start doing?
On what? Sorry, say that again.
On the CVP, should we keep anything else or start doing anything in particular?
No, I think that covers everything.
As one more thought, the customer value, is this where like we should like work on automating a lot of our controls or things like that would go?
I think that's like maybe TOM.
Okay, I'll wait for that then. So let's see, organization implications. I'm not sure what that means.
The fact that they don't have a hierarchical structure, maybe,
Okay.
organizational structure,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't like. It's come up in several case studies between this class and another one, and I don't like it.
Are you a structured person, Heather?
Yes.
Yeah, I like structure too.
Like, hold on, let me show you, because I like my structure. I don't get why people don't like it. It keeps everything all nice.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I just went and got like a planner today for the rest of the year. And I showed it to my husband, and he was like, "Okay." I don't. Yeah, he was like, "That's nice." I don't get it, but I don't understand how it would work in a business setting because
So,
you don't have.
what exactly are they, like, what is the structure right now?
They had. Oh, we found the word.
They had like a flat hierarchy, so they have
Yeah.
basically like the 3 decision makers, but they didn't really give out a lot of titles.
Yeah, it was flat, fluid organizational structure. They had 35 full-time employees, 26 of which were engineers.
Matt or Betty, are either of you the type of person that likes no structure?
Well, I like clearly defined goals, but as far as, no structure, I think that may be stretching it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't mind having some looser rules and regulations or whatever, but I think having a clear chain of command is kind of necessary.
I feel like my life is less complicated and less confusing if I at least have like some guidelines or just some type of organization. Maybe even like my job description, what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know how to hold myself accountable to what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah, and they even say in there that like the rest of the people, the non-founder employees who were not engineers, were on what could loosely be called business development. So, like, what that could encompass a whole ton of things. But like, what? How do you decide? Like, oh yeah, well that's not really working on the company. You should be working on work stuff while you're here. They could call that whatever they wanted. Like, yeah, my Twitter feed is totally helping the company.
I mean, I guess I understand like their thought of like not like trying to overburden them or make them feel like so. What's the word they used? Micromanaged, I guess. Is that what they? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Well, maybe that's my problem. I like to micromanage.
But in some instances and cases, I feel like it would work. But I feel like technology and the company just growing so much, I understand there being like free flow and creativity or whatever, but I feel like they would need some type of like structure. So at least, because there's so many talented people. Do what?
Wasn't that one of the reasons why one of the like 7 people who resigned because when they were on call as a technician person, they were like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it was it was too much, and they were scaling up without hiring proportionately, and so then there was a limited number of people trying to do the work of 3 or 4 people at a time.
Right.
Right, and there was too many jack of all trades, nothing really defined, and so people were getting overburdened and overburnt.
Yeah.
So
People left, even if they had just stuck it out for a little bit longer, like their stock options would have vested out, and they would have made some more money. But they were so tired of it that they left, even without it. So I'm like, I feel like if it's that bad, if it's to that point where people are walking away from a substantial amount of money, something has to give. And it should probably be their hiring practices, because what did I say? There was like 3 people in charge of hiring.
I don't think there was anybody in charge of hiring.
I don't think there was anybody.
Well, yeah. So they need somebody in charge of hiring, and they need to not do the. That was it. They had opportunity hires and necessity hires. So they had people that they hired because they had a specific idea or a specific role for them to fill, and then there was opportunity ones that were like, oh, we really like you, we think you would be a good fit for the company, and so then they bring them on. And like, well, just because they would be a good fit doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have them. So I don't know. I think their hiring needs to be changed quite a bit if they want to make this work.
Yep, agree.
So I'm going to put under our organizational implication, it could, if they don't fix the hiring process, it could negatively affect how we can offer security and speed to our customers.
Yes.
Cool. Nice loop, guys. I like that. Okay, so the next topic, go-to-market. What are the key elements for our go-to-market strategy? I'll take a stab at it. I don't know if they really have much of a go-to-market strategy other than it's the freebie. They just kind of, right now they're not pushing anything, and those that are wanting the free are taking it, eating it up, and then the few that actually pay for it are paying for it, and I don't feel like they're really pushing anything right now.
See, I read go-to-market strategy as like product development, and things like that, and and so their GTM is more along the lines of, hey, you know, we're blocking this new threat, so let's block the new threat, build it into our platform, and then file a patent for it. So it's very very reactionary. In fact, and they don't have a product roadmap or anything like that.
I wonder if when they change up their hiring policy, they should bring on ex-hackers or something and say, how do you attack this, and how can we prevent people from other people attacking our customers or whatever. So instead of being so reactionary, they're ahead of the game. That might up their value proposition too. I mean, they have 4 different kinds of, they have 4 different tiers of service. They have the free, the pro, business, and enterprise. And I feel like at an enterprise level, at $3,000 a month for a bigger company, they might be willing to pay that much if they knew that there was people working on the next big thing that would attack their company, and not just react to what happens, even if the reactions are in real time.
Yeah.
It's not fast enough, so they might like the idea that there's people working on it. At least that would be a selling point for me.
Okay, so I put that under keep or start doing. Bring on hackers to work ahead of the curve. I think that's a good idea.
Well, the FBI and NSA do it, so why not?
So organization implication?
They would need to change their hiring.
They need to bring in at least a product manager
Yeah, there need to be people with set roles and job descriptions.
Job descriptions. Cool. Anyone else want to say anything else about go-to-market?
Nope.
Okay.
I need to be more thoughtful about it.
All right. Key elements of our target order manager, and I'm not sure what that means.
I don't think it's target order manager.
Oh, then what was it?
I think it's more like target operating model.
Oh, that makes more sense. So this is the, as I Google this, the desired state of operating model of an organization. So when working with an organizational model, it's normal to define the as-is model and the to-be model. This is the to-be model. That didn't mean anything to me.
What doesn't mean anything to you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm sorry, all I caught out of that was, it doesn't mean anything to me, but I didn't catch what it was.
The target operating model.
I think they were talking about the business model that they're following. So, like, in this case, it would be the freemium. I think it works for this one. I don't think they should change their business model. I think it works.
Okay. And they charge a few.
They charge free for the bottom tier. Pro is $20 a month. Business is $200 a month. And enterprise is $3,000.
Good job.
So what should we keep or start doing with our target operating model? Keep up the freemium.
No.
Oh,
Premium one is okay. Or the free tier. I mean,
You like the 3-tier? Is that what you said?
yeah. I mean, the free one, they have enough offered that it's like, yeah, I would do that, or people would sign up for it for free. The pro one covers substantially more, and I think that most people who get the free would be like, well, for $20 a month, I could handle that. And then like the business one, it's a significant jump from $20 to $200 per month. But for a smaller to medium-sized business, that's an acceptable range. And the enterprise one, again, is a substantial jump, but the enterprise one is for like large corporations kind of a thing. That, I think, is where some of their problem comes in, because the people that are using the enterprise one take up so much time that the other tiers might not get enough technical support.
Interesting. So because of the model that they have there, it might leave some of the market, whatever we call it.
I know what you mean.
The customer value might be lacking with the certain tiers.
Yeah. Like the free version probably doesn't get a ton of IT support. The pro probably gets maybe a little bit more, but I feel like business and enterprise, because they cost they bring in so much more money per month, that they get the majority of the tech support and a majority of the company's attention. So, and that I think goes back to their hiring and scaling process. If they would hire and scale up at the same proportionate rate, then they'd be able to handle the demands of all 4 tiers without leaving any behind. But it doesn't look like they're doing it. It looks like they're wanting to scale up, bring in more money, but not hire anybody else, which isn't going to work.
Cool. Anyone else want to share anything on that?
No, I think
I love it.
Got it. Yeah.
So let's go to question number 4. Working as a group, take a closer look at CloudFlare's cash flow formula. Suppose we have to hire some more engineers in direct proportion to how we scale. How long will it take to become profitable? Interesting.
You have to make an actual spreadsheet.
Yeah.
What?
Does anyone have a spreadsheet they can create and share at the same time?
Yeah, I can do that. Just a second. Let me close out of the other. No, go away, Cortana. Stupid thing.
Does anybody know how many engineers are currently working with the company?
26.
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys see the screen okay? Am I zoomed in enough?
It looks good.
Yeah. Good.
Alright, tell me what you want me to write.
Number of engineers, current number, or something like that.
Yeah, 26.
And I'm looking through the case for more information. So we want to know the cash flow formula. How much money are we currently bringing in with 26 engineers?
Yeah.
Have revenue.
So we need to know.
So I'm looking at where it says profit formula. It just says 95% of revenue came from paid subscriptions, advertise. Like, do we have to calculate all of that? Like, advertising came, let's see. If 4% of 500 customers paid 20 monthly, subscription fee, blah, blah, blah. Prince estimated the cost to be about 3.5 million per views. So what are we trying to calculate again? Sorry.
We want to know what the cash flow formula is, and we're trying to calculate the break even. Or to become profitable, whatever profitable means.
So would we just not enter all the numbers
so,
on the profit formula?
Okay, hold on. It says the annual revenue run rate would be about 4.8 million.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So would that be this number right here? That sounds like a unhappy baby.
Oh, yeah, my wife came home and now my 2-year-old's upset because she went back out to get groceries.
Well, clearly she's just never coming back and abandoning her.
Sounds about right.
So this is 4% of, this is the 4% is generating 4.8 million annually. Right? So that's not calculating, and that is only accounted for the other 5% of revenue, or is that 95% of revenue is the 4.8 million? Nobody jump up at once.
I'm doing math. It takes me a minute.
This is nice that we can see your paper on your computer and all the highlights.
Oh. I That's what I do when I read through. I highlight stuff that I think is relevant.
Well, I vote we say revenue is 4.8 million.
That's what I put in, so good.
But the part of ours that's not a subscription. So do I understand that right? 95% of revenue came from paid subscriptions. And
Right.
that's just, we market to our people. We're not even providing a service, but the people that come end up clicking on other things and leaving, and we get paid for it from other advertising sources. Okay. So that means that 95% of the 4.8 million is not something that it just comes in regardless of the amount of work we do, right?
No, 95% comes from paid subscriptions, so they're paying for the service.
Is that what that means, a paid subscription?
Yeah. The rest of it, the 5% left comes from advertising on the page.
Okay, so I had it the wrong way around in my mind. That makes more sense. So the cost is $3.50 per million page views.
What? No, 3.5 per million. 3.5, like $3.50 per million page views.
That's nice.
That seems.
Well, it says 2.6 million annually, so our cost is 2.6 million per year.
Well, no, or 2.6 million on an annual run rate basis. 2 billion daily page views.
Wow, so they get paid $150,000 per person? Ouch.
No. No, that's not what they're saying. It's $150 per head in salary, benefits, rent, and overhead. So they calculated it out per employee. So they might get like $80,000 in salary, but then you have to take into account the amount of money that the company pays for their health benefits and the amount of room they take up in the building as part of their rent and the overhead fees for like electricity. So they calculated it out to each individual employee costs them $150,000. Not that they pay those people $150,000. It costs the company $150,000 per person.
Okay, so well, we have our cost then per employee at $150,000.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And then they give us 35
each. Or $7.85 million.
Mhm.
Which
So
leaves
we
them
have
with a loss.
Right, and we want to know how to break even.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, it says specifically how long will it take to become profitable. I think that's break even. So how are we going to just take the total revenue divided by the number of employees, and then just say, okay, every time? How do we draw this? How do we calculate this to be kind of accurate? Because if we grow this, it's just gonna, each employee can only is bringing in less every year. They have to become more profitable.
So glad we're getting home. Glad as I can be. Laugh my hands and shout for joy, and I must want to be. Put my arms around, hug and try like this. I can see and give him what? A great big kiss. I see the spider climb up the water, down in the rain, and watch the spider up. Yeah. See spider out in the sun and try to dull the rain. See spider climb up the child again.
Oh, oops.
This is taking. I don't fully know how to do this.
I'm making stuff up.
No, it's been great. So let's say how many customers are we currently? Do you want to try and calculate it based on customers that we're serving, or yeah, what's going to be our main?
Okay, my math is not adding up right. Confused. That's right. Hold on.
Suppose we have to hire more engineers in direct proportion to how we scale. So if we grow, our revenue grows, but then our expenses grow, right?
Yeah.
So always profitable.
Just hold on.
Do we have only 26 employees, or is it 35 employees?
35, 26 engineers, but then there's like 9 others that are, I think there's like the 3 co-founders and like 6 other
Well,
people.
they don't give us what the co-founders are paying themselves. Do we even know if they're taking a salary at this point?
We don't know much.
Yeah. Well, if they don't give us that number, I'm going to assume that they're not taking a salary at this point, and they just want us to use the number of employees, the total number of employees, not just the engineers, because everybody gets paid, not just the engineers. So.
Yeah. So, well, what we can do is, I don't know. So there's roughly 500 customers is what we're looking at right now with our model. Right? That's the estimate this is all based off of?
Yeah. No, go back, go back. Hold on, I want to try something that we did in my B483
Your goal seek.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work because cost per employee needs to improve.
They would need to pay us $87,000 per employee to break even, if that's the one we used.
So, do we have to calculate how many? Because with the way we're set up, our employees are at a set cost, and if you hire another employee, it doesn't bring on a greater amount of revenue. It brings on actually a greater cost because the cost is set for them. It doesn't fluctuate based on the number of customers.
Well, it could fluctuate. I mean,
well, in reality, it is fluctuating. I think our math isn't as accurate as where I'm going with this.
I think they are rounding up just for the sake of giving us round numbers.
So for every new employee we hire, how many more customers do we get because we hired a new employee?
That is not clear. I would focus less on... Hold on. Let me do this. Okay. So if we moved it up to maybe 45, and then
maybe that's the purpose of this, is what they're trying to say. If we grow at this level, and each employee costs $150,000, but each employee is only generating, what was it, $137 each, we will never, even if we have 1 million employees, we'll never be able to make more than that because every employee brings on greater cost than revenue. I think that's the concept. If that makes sense.
no, it does. Okay, let's assume for the sake of simplicity that this minus this minus, hold on. Okay. Let's see.
Is that calculated based per employee?
Yeah.
So,
So
can you give us like 100 employees and see how it changes the formula?
well, hold on, just a second. I'm gonna see if this minus. Let's see if we can do this by percentage because it's. I don't know. I think it's easier. Ah! What did you do? Why did you do that?
It's a percent. Remember, change it to a percent.
I did.
You're
why.
formatting.
That's why. Details. This is why I don't like math. This is why we hire the accountants to do this. So let's say that this, we're going to hope for, like, what, 5% growth maybe?
Well, I don't think you have to calculate that. I think.
Well,
you want to. Okay, you calculate it.
Well, I think it would be unrealistic to assume that we would not grow at all. Not maybe a ton, but... So, and then if we keep with our 95% of that...
Why did the cost per employee go down?
Because we want the cost per employee to go down?
Well, yeah, but I think you get the concept, but that if we grew in direct proportion to where we are now, that's not direct proportion, that's an increase in capacity, which is not direct proportion. Does that make sense? So that's the whole purpose. They're wanting us to realize we have to become more profitable per employee. I think that's the whole point of the question.
Right. No, all I'm doing with this is showing. So, okay. So, and this is the original right here. This over here is the original. This is saying, well, what if we hired 10 new people, but when we hired them, we cut something. Either we cut salary, or we cut the amount that we pay for their benefits, or we moved to a cheaper place, or something, and we drop our cost per employee down by 30%. And that made this drop by 30%. And we dropped our total expenses by 30%. And we grew our revenue by 5%. I mean, optimistically speaking, because we're still going to be operating at a loss. The only thing that I can't get to make any sense right now, though, is this, because in the case study is saying that they're operating at a 3.5 million loss. But that's not what the math says, unless I'm doing my math wrong. Unless they're using, I don't know. Did I do the math wrong? Oh. Hold the phone. Yeah. Okay. Hold the phone.
So total expenses, I believe, is including the
that's including. Yeah, that's including that. That's why the numbers aren't working.
7.85 minus. Yeah, so that should be it. That should be it right there.
No, it's
revenue minus expenses.
This, yeah. That's why. Okay. Why isn't this matching the numbers? Okay. So.
I vote we move on because we've almost been on it for an hour now.
Okay.
And we have 3 questions. Any comments from anybody else? It's a beautiful spreadsheet, Heather. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so why does Cloudflare management want to get big fast? What benefits does Cloudflare receive from scale? In short, if they grow quickly, they can absorb market share, and they can, at a larger scale, more people will pay for their subscription, other things like that. And also, a benefit comes from being large means they're going to get attacked more, which means that they can develop the ability to defend their company and everybody else better. And so if a small mom and pop place is attacked, we can defend the large corporations with the same way and how we defended by automating everything. Any other thoughts?
No, I think I agree with you with what you said. I mean, it seems like they do have high costs, so they would.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they have such high costs. Like, I'd be interested to see what their balance sheet looks like.
So they definitely want to grow, but then we're saying if they grow, they're definitely going to need to hire more people. So, yeah. I'm thinking that's why they want to grow fast. On top of to get the money. I don't know. It's weird that they have these really high costs. That's what I'm like trying to figure out why.
I mean, most tech places tend to have a little bit higher cost at the beginning because you have to buy computers and you have to buy server farms and you have to buy office space or rent office space. You have to buy all the office furniture that goes in it. So initially, yeah, their overhead expenses probably were really high. But I feel like at this point, they were in business at this point for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
some of that should have depreciated out already. I don't know why their expenses are still so high unless they're, taking corporate retreats to Bali or something.
So does Cloudflare have a network effect?
You want to define network effect?
So the network effect is when you have one customer come in, how many other customers do they bring in? Word of mouth. Do they go talk about it, or do they like, oh, I tried it and I hated it, and everyone I told didn't ever buy it?
Well, it seems like that's how they were making more customers, is by word of mouth. So I guess it was working to their advantage.
Yeah, they were offering a good product that people wanted and were willing to tell people about it, and they didn't even have to market for it. That's actually a positive thing. Very positive.
Right.
So does Cloudflare have a high switching cost, such as leaving Cloudflare and going somewhere else?
Only if you have to pay something to break your subscription contract, but I don't think that they have that.
Okay, so no, not really. Interesting. So what are the reasons might Cloudflare management have for wanting to get big fast?
Aside from money and greed?
I think we covered most of them. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
So what reason might you suggest for not growing fast?
Their employees might not be able to handle it at this point.
Right.
Go out of business.
They're already overworked.
Overworked, underpaid, underappreciated.
Okay, good reasons. All right, so question 6. Discuss each of the recent resignations. For each one, list the reason why they left and ask what you would have changed if that person had stayed.
Each person?
Let's see.
Sure, there's 7 of them, right? Let's do
There's
this.
5 of them.
There's only 5. What was the first one?
I thought there were 7.
No, it was Dale, David, 2 Davids, Dale, and 2 other employees.
Oh, okay.
So why was the first guy...
So the first guy, Dale, it was too much workload pressure. He was under too much workload pressure. He felt like it was a high level of intensity to sustain. Like he was working 24/7.
He said if it would help, it would have helped if they had hired somebody else. But three,
or had
trying to hire somebody, but they have ridiculous standards, and so they didn't hire anybody, which meant he was left doing the work of several people.
Right. I mean, imagine being on call 24/7 and getting calls and messages or paid
every 8 minutes.
Every 8 minutes. And yeah. So having somebody in a different time zone or something to help take off the load off of him, or even like a small call center would have worked. But I guess that's what they can do. They can get a call center or hire somebody else in a different time zone that can help.
Might be worth. I think that would be a good idea for them. Would be to hire a call center.
Well, it wasn't that they were answering questions. I thought it was that they were getting attacked every 8 minutes, and so they were having to defend their program. And they're...
So they would have to, I think it was like create, let's see, a ticket or something. I don't know if it was defend.
I don't think it was defending.
Let's see. Yeah, it was 20 minutes. They were required to respond within 20 minutes to technical issues ranging from DDoS attacks to hardware failures to serious software bugs. So it was just all of the above. It was pretty much just all technical issues.
Right.
Hardware failures, software bugs, DDoS attacks, whatever that is. So.
Well, I guess in that case, I don't know. They still need to change. what they hire or who they hire. Maybe instead of hiring people with engineering degrees, because they expect to get paid a lot more. Find people who don't have degrees but still understand how to defend against those kind of attacks, and hire them because they'll work for a lot less.
Or just hire a call center. Like in the technology nowadays, you call the cable company and all they tell you is turn off your modem and turn it back on. So
That is all they tell you.
reset. But
So then another question. So the reasons why most of them left were they were all too busy, commute was too far, and it wasn't the right fit for them. And
right,
so,
they were unhappy with the structure. They weren't getting good, enough job satisfaction. They didn't feel like they were contributing enough because these people were really talented doing things that they weren't really. They felt like they could do more, and they were getting burnt out pretty much.
So what will happen to the other employees who work there if changes are implemented? Would it make them happier? Probably.
Probably, but also if you ended up having to cut people's pay, probably not.
Make them sad. So then, why do people work at CloudFlare? Make money. It's a job. They love it. I think that was said earlier too. That's what they want to do. Are there any other reasons?
Well, some of them felt passionate about it, right? It seemed like some of them were passionate about it. Others, it would just worked with their, like they were single. Majority of them were like single, no kids. I think young, and just it worked with their like less structure and their times, like meeting on Fridays evenings worked perfect for everybody except for a few. So I think for the most part, some of them were happy with the less structure.
I agree with you on that. So then for the last question, a group decision, should CloudFlare implement more processes and structures, hire a VP or HR, and start using titles, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes on my part.
I think they do. They need to. They would
And Matt?
benefit.
Sorry, go ahead, Betty.
No, I was going to say they would benefit from it.
Matt, do you want to share anything on that? It's okay, you don't have to. Okay, cool. So then, should CloudFlare slow down growth, yes or no?
Yes.
I'm no.
Until they can get a handle on it, and until they can get a handle on their implementing titles and bringing in like official people with those titles is going to shake things up. That's going to take a little bit of time. Hiring more people to take on all the extra workload is going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of money. And yeah, they could maybe afford to operate at a loss for like 1 more year. But I mean, this is going off of no financial statements because they didn't give us any. But if they can't get a handle on it, they're going to end up with their employees all walking out. But they're still going to have customers who are demanding that they service them, and then they're going to walk away from their subscriptions, and then they will end up going bankrupt. I think taking time to slow down for a year, maybe 2, it would not be the worst thing in the world for them.
Betty, do you have an opinion?
Well, at first I was gonna say not necessarily, but I think Heather brought up really good points, and I think that if they can manage to slow down a little, and in the long run, it'll be more beneficial to them for the company. You know, they just slow down for a bit and able to implement some of the new changes to avoid burning the rest of the employees and stuff.
There's that
But
whole, turtle versus hare.
yeah, but you don't think that if they just got me thinking, like if they slow down, do you think that maybe their competitors will jump on? I don't know. There's always that like.
I'm not saying stop.
How will
I'm
the
saying
competitors? Right, not stop, but like obviously they have this opportunity to grow tremendously.
yeah. But I think they've reached a point where they need to plateau a little bit before they start rapidly growing again.
I agree.
And I think
I agree.
Yeah, I think they could probably, even with competitors, though they didn't really mention any competitors in the reading that I remember. I think even with that, they would be okay for a year, or maybe just even 6 months. They could be okay. That would only be 2 quarters, and they could spend the rest of the year, the last 6 months, ramping everything up again, scaling it up again to make up for the first 2 slow quarters. It wouldn't be the worst thing.
Okay. I see points with you. As another thought, I do feel like they've not really focused on hiring people. And honestly, I feel like this is a simple issue that if they went out and just quickly hired some people and then created it so that they can find out those that are the best in their group that they hired and then move forward and not even take a double. Like, they could solve this within a month, I feel like, most of this issue, and still keep their growth they're at right now. But I think, either one is if they are good at hiring people or not.
Well, they would have to definitely come to a consensus on how and who they're hiring, because it doesn't sound like they have a firm plan. They don't have a firm criteria for who they hire.
Or process. They don't really have a hiring process at that. So
yeah. So they would need. So the first person they need to hire is an HR person who will set up their hiring process.
Right.
And then once they get that set up, then maybe you can crank it all out in a month if you really were motivated to.
And potentially, even doing that, they can hire based on the culture of the company, and maybe not do it as hierarchical or whatever, titled or whatever that, so, but at the same time, it has to have some type of
they have to have a job title.
Structure. Right, they have to have some type of structure going on. So.
Cool. I think we also answered the last question by so doing, by what would happen under our recommendations. So I think that's it, guys.
Woohoo!
Yay. Heather, would you share your Google spreadsheet that you created? We're supposed to turn it in.
Sure.
When we turn it in. Okay.
I'm not sure where we turned it in, though.
Individually, we're supposed to turn it in?
It just says...
Turn it in, right?
It said turn it in, so use an actual spreadsheet and turn it in after the discussion.
Okay.
Maybe
it'll be in our
discussion board.
It'll probably be in
the discussion board.
It'll probably be in our discussion poll, the last one or something.
Oh, interesting. Who knows? It could be some old thing that I used in classes before. Do you guys want to talk about anything else before we go?
I think so.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to go, guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
All right, bye.